Monday. Hope you had a great weekend, and let's do some scrapbooking. I have no further introduction this afternoon. Let's see what we've made. So we're in our second week with the February kit, which means I have made 2 layouts with the February kit so far. Today will be number 3. So here we have last week's starting point with a single 4x6, and then the Friday video was also a single 4x6, and they're both about learning new things, really. So yeah, so we had this one starting with that idea of an L shape, and working out that the photo would sit in the corner of the L. And that was our starting point, and then building on from there. And then Friday we just work with a sketch, and I wanted to work with these vertical pieces at the outside and a horizontal band across here. And then ended up making my journaling space far too small, so I'm going to add journaling here and here as well. So there we go. The jury is still out on giant drops of the Distress Spritz. So it's not meant to be used like this. I like how it looks. But it's also imperfect in that if you rub it with your finger, it's going to come off if you're doing big droplets like this. And I have had now one whole circle just lift off the layout and attach itself. Well, it was kind of static stuck to the page protector, which was interesting. But I just want to throw this out there. I still like it. And I kind of went, ooh, that's kind of weird. That was my reaction to the dot coming off of a layout. It doesn't bother me if it makes the inside of the page protector a little sparkly. That might not be everybody's cup of tea. So I just want to put that out there, that I'm going to continue to use something against the directions of the product. I'm such a rebel. I also store my oxides on their sides, which you're not supposed to do. So there we go. Sorry, Ranger. I'm a terrible spokesperson, and that's why I don't work for you. But, well, that's one of many reasons why I don't work for you. They would never offer me a job. I'm a terrible spokesperson, but I still like the product. I still like how it looks. But it might not be something that makes you happy because, yes, it can't come off. Is that enough of a disclaimer as I use this product going forward? There we go. So that's what I've done so far. Today is a Monday, so that means we're going to do another starting point. But today, not only do I have multiple photos, not a single 4x6, they're landscape. Who am I and what has happened? So there's 4 photos here, but I'm going to be using 3 today. So if you were around in December, I was going to say last month, but December is not last month anymore. The month before that. Okay, so I'm going to take the portrait one and save it for later. Do I have an ink pad in the same color that I could stamp? No, because it's just to do it with the finish. So an ink is not going to give me the same sort of thing. Yeah, okay. Bend and snap. So if you're around in December, that's where I was, then you'll know that I did a layout about the end of an era that the Sunday Performing Arts School that WB goes to was leaving the studio that indeed they were named after and had been there for 26 years. They needed to find a new home. They have a new home, and they've been able to keep their name just as initials. So now the first P stands for something else. So there's still PPAS, so that can stay consistent throughout my pages. But I'm quite used to calling it by the name of the fruit, and that's not allowed anymore. They've said the two must be separate entities. So on yesterday, oh my goodness, the week feels long. I'm already thinking that yesterday was more than a day away. I went in to do the first batch of photography for the studio in their new home. Now, obviously, I take pictures and videos of the kids of all ages, but for my scrapbook, I'm just going to use the ones with my kid in them. So I've got 3 here. 2 from dance, 1 from drama. And it's kind of funny when I get to scrapbook photos like this, when I'm taking the photos for the studio, it's not exactly what I would be taking if I were just taking pictures for my own use. It's for marketing, of course. So they have boxes they need to tick. So, for example, they need to make it obvious from a photo that they don't just teach dance, that they also teach singing and drama. So these kids have scripts in their hands to show, look, we do drama class, which is really funny. And WB didn't need the script in his hand. I don't think his partner did either. But I had to tell them, we just have to fake it so that it reads to the audience like this is a drama class. And script, apparently, is how we get that. And then, a moment, all the boys. I did get to photograph all the boys doing this really cool number. So this is just a few of them, and this is then the bigger group of boys. Exciting, because, you know, a lot of people think dance schools are almost entirely girls, and there's like one token boy. Nope. They're here, they're strong, the boys dance too. We like it. So yeah, today, that's what I'm going to be putting on to my starting point. Yes. Interestingly, I think we're going to see like the color in their branding go down to black and white. So they still have pink and blue shirt options that the kids can wear, but all the new shirts are the white with black lettering. And I think that's where they're going to transition to. And the buildings themselves are white walls. Some of them have black walls, like curtain walls, and wood floors. So there's no color in this studio, where the other studio had a lot of hot pink branding. So this is going to be interesting in how I then how this starts to appear in my albums, because I've always scrapped it with a hefty dose of pink because the studio was branded in pink, but no more. So here we are. These are my backing papers that I still have left. So let's have a look. What is, is this too bluey? Actually, I think that's kind of a good mix, right? Does it look too mismatched, or is it okay? I think we're good. And I think that's probably the better choice than the others in the pack. I mean, I could go here, but then we're going back to the pink branding, and I think let's move forward. So let's take that one. Now, I used the other side of this, right? But not the bright side. Yeah, because I used this side here. But if I use this side, even though they're going in the same month, we're all good. It's not going to look like an instant repeat. Although, I've done instant repeats, and it's okay. Right, Allie just got back from a retreat at the beach where she got 12 pages done. Georgia, how was your weekend scrapping retreat? What was your judgment on all things going away and scrapbooking? Did you get lots done, or did you just chat, or a combination of both? Was it good? Justine, lots of love to you and your family. Justine's at the Children's Hospital with the little one. No one wants to be there. I hope that you don't have much longer to stay. And lots of other people here. Thank you for watching live. Okay. Right. Let's do speech and then look at the rest of the supplies. Let's work it out. Hello, my name's Shimelle. I teach online scrapbooking classes, design scrapbooking products, and help you use them to tell your stories in a creative way. It's not just my hobby, it is my job, and that means anytime I scrapbook on the internet, it's considered advertising, and legally I need to make sure you're aware of that. So thank you for coming to watch my #advertising. I appreciate you being here, whether you are live, chatty, watch from Tomorrowland, quiet, craft, don't craft, think about coming back to craft, all of it. You can find the links to all the different things that you might need in the description box. the supplies I'm using right now and all month long would be the February shopping list. And then you can see what I'll use next month already. It's called the March shopping list. Giant disclaimer for March. You're going to look at the list and you're going to go, why on earth would I want to scrapbook Winnie the Pooh all month? But I've purposely chosen, of all the different many Winnie the Pooh collections that have just hit the scrapbooking industry, I've chosen the one that can be used really easily to not be Winnie the Pooh. It just has a lovely softness to it. It's going to be beautiful colors to work with. It has really rich patterns, and that's why I've put them in there. So have faith in me. You got all these playlists to look back, and I can show you that I can convince you some products have more versatility than you might think when you see them in the shop. So give that Winnie the Pooh a little try. I'm not going to be scrapbooking it with Winnie the Pooh photos. I'm not going to be scrapbooking it with walk in the forest photos. We're going to use it for everyday stuff just like I do here. Okay? Yay! You can find links to my classes. You can find links to my Instagram, my Facebook group, all of that stuff in the description box too. Thank you so much. Let's scrapbook. Now, Georgia says she made 14 layouts, including another one with Reasons to Smile. Caroline has been diving into that stash. She made 2 pages and she used 7 gypsies and ancient basic gray. Amazing. Kelly's in a blizzard. Less amazing. I mean, unless you were really excited to stay home. That would also be cool. Sometimes snow day is exactly what you need. All right. So a starting point for today. Looking at the supplies we have left. Well, we have black and white here, which I would like to bring in because we're going to be headed toward black and white branding. So I think that is a thing. Can start introducing the black and white. Georgia loves basic gray. It's good stuff. Should we throw some basic gray in today? Is that a call? All right, we also have this in a smaller pattern, by the way. I want the Smile big, but I do also have it on a die cut. But I really do like that kind of, oh, it's the bright one. Why have I turned it over? I like this color combination. I like blue-green with red. So let's do it. So I'm going to have this 3x4. They used to sell basic gray at Joann. I didn't know that. It's very cool. We'll have a little look at my basic gray shelf and see what we could add in as a little basic gray tribute today. Now, I used the other sheet of this craft one last time, but the photos are actually making me think that could be a really nice combination. So not a guarantee that I'm going to use it, but I am going to pull it out. Hello, Corey. Oh, Archivers was gorgeous. Yes. Especially if you didn't have an independent local scrapbook store, Archivers felt extra beautiful. But yeah, we didn't have things like that here, but I would visit them when I went to the States. And then let's look at the, oh, I have actually that much of it left from last time. So let's actually go with that. Bring in the two shades of aqua, but I don't know, again, that the bunting matches today's story. So I might cover this up with something else. I don't know if my hip hop boys go with bunting. But if I put something else here, it's not love songs, but I could make another label for the cassette tape. Because a cassette tape does go with hip hop boys, yes? So let's pretend it's not a Valentine's tape. And we go from there. All right. Definitely want to use the black alpha today. We also have a cassette tape here in the stickers. We might come back to that. And let's have a look at the basic gray shelf. I haven't pulled it out for a while. It's quite, it's quite the collection. It's not quite my Cosmo or my Sasa, but it's not small. I'll give it that. Let's see what we can do. I need a little jingle for stash diving. What could it be? Let's write a little jingle. Oh my goodness, Virginia has Rusty Pickle. Oh, what a collection. Do these boys even know what a cassette tape is? Oh, they're old school. Yes, they do. Their friends at school might not. But this dance is to Tricky. It's tricky. It's tricky. Yeah, they're old school. I don't know all the words well enough to rap it. So you like how I just left that out. How much do I love this paper? You know how I tell you not to save the paper? I totally saved this paper. One day I'm going to use it. Oh, it has a bonus enamel dot on the back. Let's get rid of that. Okay. What could we add in? That's black and white with a nice green. Okay, that can be a maybe. Red for 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we could use those numbers. The other thing I'm noticing in here is that some of my basic gray is old school Studio Calico. That's the one, Krista. It's tricky to rock a rhyme that's right on time. It's tricky. Yeah, I wasn't going to be able to do it from my head. But that's the one. That's gorgeous, but we don't need that right now. But yeah, I do miss, I liked the old school 12 by 12 Studio Calico kits where we had guest designer, it's not what they would have called it, but guest companies. So some of the kit would be their own design, and then they'd go to Basic Gray and be like, can we have 3 like this? Yeah, I love it. But yeah, 12 by 12 Studio Calico was long, long ago. Whoa, that's bright. It's funny, I would never expect to find highlighter yellow in Basic Gray because we tend to think of them as so much more subdued. There it is again. Subdued, and I like this one a lot. And distressed. Okay. I mean, there is some here that makes you go, oh, Basic Gray walked so that 49 Market can run. And I'm okay with that. We've got 49 Market. All right. That's so cute. Single-sided patterns in here. Oh, the hot pink is glorious. Little black dress. That's what these black patterns are. Clouds. Love a cloud. Oh, red. Should we have this red too? This pink is glorious though, so I'm putting that at the top of the pile. Let's use that soon. Okay. So that was a little trip down basic gray lane. So we will take a little bit of that by special request. Aquarium colors. That's a nice way to describe them. Which way does that go? And these, but then I'm going to put that hot pink on top. Let's see if I can find a time to use that soon, because it's beautiful. But we're going to go with red today. All right. This gives me extra layers. So what my plan is here is then I can use these to add things in, but it will just be in layering. So if you wanted to go without the extras that I'm adding in, the starting point from the main kit will still work. All right. So let's take the branding strip off here. Okay, I need a poll because I want to know, today, we're going to do a starting point that's either central or opposition composition. Which composition? I will tell you what they are in just a second, so you don't have to vote blind if you're not familiar with these terms. Okay, so what I mean by that. Central composition means that everything is going to build from the middle of the page and the outside edges will remain pretty open and free. So everything starts in the center and we build out, but we will end up with the edges of the square not having stuff that goes off most likely. Yeah, there might be. We might build so far that we get to the edge, but the idea is that it's kind of floating in the middle. Okay, it's anchored to the center of the page. That's why it's called central composition. Opposition composition means that we work from two sides. So we have stuff coming in from over here, we have stuff coming in from over here, and we try to leave an open valley at some point in the middle. Okay, so that's opposition composition because it's coming from the edges and it's going in opposite directions. Now, interestingly, central surged ahead really quickly. Let's see, give it a minute because opposition is catching up there now that it's had a little description. So I'm going to cut a bit of paper, I think. And then you can tell me in the poll. We'll see what wins. Okay. So far, still looking like central is the answer. So we will go with that. All right, don't worry. If you voted opposition, we can do that another day. Somehow I've managed to not trim through the very end here. There we go. Okay, we'll close this poll. Thank you very much. Okay, so we've got, I need black ink today. That's not that one. Oops. I think this is black. Yeah. All right. So for central, I recommend that you take one box that is substantially sized. Now, it doesn't need to be something like 10 by 10 because then you're going to be so big that I feel like that composition is a little something different. This is about as big as I would go. So 6 by 8 works, 8 by 8 works, something around there. It can even go down to 6 by 6, anything like that, okay? And we're going to start sticking straight away. Now, you can go directly from the very center, but what I find really useful, and I've been teaching for years, is go to the very center and then go off in some direction. That might be a diagonal, it might be straight up and down. You're going to keep the box square though, so I'm going to take this over to the left just a little bit. Enough so that if you look at this space and this space, they are visually different, and you can tell that I have purposely put them off center. Got it? Right. So that's step 1. Then we need some other pieces. So I'm going to have my craft. Oh, why did I do that? Okay. The craft box be my second largest piece, but everything goes smaller from this first one. Now, go back to that same center point and move the other way, okay? It could be straight across here, it can be down a little bit, but if you moved left with the first piece of paper, move right with the second piece of paper. And stick. We're good. Now, we have a 3 by 4 box here. Hello! You can join us anytime. Thanks for stopping by. All right, so we then have 2 pieces like this, and we again want to go off center from what we already have. So if I put them in the center of this box and then I move them in one way or the other. Now I could move them this way, but then I'm going to really limit the places I can put photos. So think that through and move the other way, right? Stick. Now everything is still square. It's all still straight lines. I'm not angling anything. And my margins are nice and straight here. So I'm this far. That's all still kit. Now I am going to change the sentiment on here. But this then works well to come over to the other side. I don't want to stick this one quite yet because this needs to overlap on top probably. But I'm going to just hold it in line. So I'm just going to put the tiniest bit of adhesive to not lose it while I'm working. Now, the center point here, look at the top to bottom here, take it across. So we're going roughly here, something like that. Okay? What else do we want to add to this from the kit before we call this the starting point? I actually think this is where we stop for the starting point. Yeah, okay. This gives you enough. Because let's look at all the different ways you could take this. You could do photos here. You could do photos here. You could do one big photo here. You can do that. Yeah. You could even, you know I wouldn't, but you could do that. I'd probably make this a smaller print. You could do this, make a little grid here sort of effect. You could do this. maybe even that. Like you could do quite a lot in that space. All right? But that is the starting point, which means it's time for an earthquake. Are you ready? Let's make sure everything's nice centered there. Okay, earthquake incoming. Why does it sometimes go straight away? How many times do I have to do it? There. 4. Who knew? I don't know why. Okay, earthquake done. Extra layers from our basic red papers that have come out as tribute. Okay. So we're going to put everything on this gorgeous red. Oh, yes. Georgia says 49 and Market is too vintagey for her. Even the background paper is like this. Because there's quite a lot of their designs that are not my vibe. But when you look at the full collections and pick and choose, then I find a lot that I really do love. I do have my Fiskars trimmer, but also things like this I prefer to cut by hand. So you get all the varied sounds. How many ways can I cut paper today? A 4.0 on the Shimelle shimmer scale. You're hilarious. So here we're going to center that in there. We're going to find a sentiment to go over here. Elizabeth was driving earlier when I was talking about the March kit, so she couldn't type it until now, but she says, if you say you can use that Winnie the Pooh paper, you will. Sometimes I scratch my head and wonder where we are going, but you always get us there. I'm quite proud of that position in this industry. Yes. Right. What sentiment are we going to add here? Is it wrong to just do the big, smile big twice? I mean, I've already got it here, but I think, or maybe this one, maybe this is smaller. Get this down. And then, so look where this could go in terms of where the story value is. I don't want to cover up any faces or anything like that. So I can go here is fine. And I've still got a bit of the blue-green margin on the left. Corey is in agreement with Elizabeth that she doesn't always know where I'm going to go, but we get there, we get there. Okay. Now, I just saw, there's 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row here. That's 5, 6, 7, 2. I've got 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row there. Not at the bottom here. Yeah, that's the closest without having to like cut in to the middle. not sure if I should do this as individual boxes or as the whole strip. I suppose I didn't need them all together on the paper if I was doing them individual boxes. I think we build this little embellishment grouping here to cover the bunting, and now seeing it like this, I think I do cut it into individual pieces. So we'll have 5, 6, 7, and 8, and they'll all have some ink. Oh, Georgia heard a new pronunciation of my name at the weekend, and somebody was calling me Shimelle. That is an interesting one. I do find it funny when people, like when scrapbookers, I don't find it like it's completely normal in real life that people mispronounce my name all the time. Like getting a coffee with, when they call your name for your order. I get anything. The number of syllables people can put into my name, sometimes it just shocks me because it's just 2, Shimelle. But sometimes I get Shimelle. Yeah, Shimelle is quite normal. And I always, whenever somebody does Shimelle, I instantly want to go, Schlamazel, Haus and Pfeffer Incorporated, but that was not a big cultural thing in the UK, so no one would really jump to where I'm going with that. So there we go. If you tip the carrier up a little bit, it can be easier. Gina, I'm confused as to what that's in response to. Sorry if I'm being daft. Okay, so anyway, the thing that makes me laugh is when scrapbookers have an interesting pronunciation of my name, because I introduce myself on every video. So I, at the beginning of every single one, say, "Hi, my name's Shimelle." And then people will respond to me and say, like, Shimelle. And I'm like, did we not get the part where I say, "Hi, my name's Shimelle"? I don't mind. When you have a weird name, it's just normal. You just laugh. There we go. Oh, sorry, Gina. I totally didn't catch that it was the comment I couldn't understand was about Georgia's cat. We're now good. Okay, we're all sending good vibes to Georgia to get her cat to the vet because this is not an easy thing. Oh, I love it. Corey says she always thinks of Laverne and Shirley when somebody calls me Shimelle. And if you get somebody who has like Hebrew background or understands Hebrew, I'll quite often get Shimelle, which is how that is pronounced, like with the English spelling from Hebrew words. And so that I sometimes get that one, and then I'm like, oh, at least I know where that one comes from. So I did my fair share of mispronouncing names that looked to me like a normal name but had a Hebrew pronunciation. So like when I taught in a Jewish school at one point, and so what would look like on the register to my eyes looked like Rochelle, but was pronounced Rockala, and I very quickly, I was 21 at the time, be kind. I was not so experienced in the world. And I was like, oh, so the first day they giggled at me a lot. And so there's all my karma for mispronunciations. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Now I know. Okay. Yeah. All right. What papers are we going to put behind there? Let's bring in the black and white. All right. Is that too big? No, I think that's going to be okay. Oh, it could be a better rectangle though. Okay. Don't just make it twist the other direction. Oh, that's silly. Also, thank you for sweet messages, and for those who didn't see, I nerded out last night on Instagram because last night was the What's on Stage Awards, which is what would be the equivalent in like movies or whatever. It's people's choice. So the What's on Stage Awards are entirely voted on by people on the internet, just logging in to vote. So it's not a panel of experts. Even the nominations is not like there's a short list and then you vote from that. Round 1 to make the short list is people with write-in votes, and round 2 is you vote on the people who had the most write-in votes. And so it's very much what the people really enjoy, which is not necessarily what will win our version of the Tonys, the Oliviers, because that's going to be the awards that are voted on by like theatrical experts. Yes? So very different kind of thing. Starlight Express is very much a show of the people rather than a show of the fancy. And so they won 7 awards last night, which was crazy, including Best Musical Revival. So that was super exciting and just really cool to be part of, for WB to be part of a show that that brings so much happiness. Oh gosh, no, we are using Bake a Secret. It's not some sort of secret message that they've come back. No, we just did some stash diving because, who was it? Used some Basic Gray at the weekend. And so we decided that we could all use some Basic Gray. And by all, I mean me. Oh, Carrier has been introduced to Cat. Corey is going to see Starlight Express in 1 month. Amazing. Remind me, I need to give you a schedule. I finally got one. Whoop, whoop. Okay. Yay. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8 there instead of bunting. Quite happy with that. Title can go in here. Now, I want to do something like A New Home, which sounds like Star Wars. A New Hope. Oh, actually, why don't I lean into that? Why don't I do little letters to do PPAS, A New Home? Do we think? And these have different sizes, so I can just lean toward the smaller ones to make it all fit. No problem, Corey. Trust me, it was starting to drive me slightly batty, but we now have a calendar, which means I can get my mum booked in and things like that. Oh, that's too close. Sarah is not quite ready to cut into her basic gray stash. Well, you saw I have plenty that I have not cut into, and I did not choose today. Here. Okay, now my other alpha this month is orange, and I have not introduced orange here. Do I want to introduce the orange, or do I want to go with something else? I do kind of like this font for it. Let's try it, and if it looks ridiculous, then we'll change it. No, I want to do black and white, and I have black and white because I got those little tiles, but where did I put them after I used them the other day? That's a good question. What if we went with gold? Can I make gold work here? Because I've got gold dots in here. Do I have the right letters? Yeah, okay. So these, yes, Sophia, they moved into a new place. Yeah, the commute is not as fun. So we're now in Kennington and Vauxhall, depending on the age group. Which is, well, at the moment, we're all getting there either crazy early, so nobody's there yet, or late, because we're all doing a combination of buses and things. And it's just a bit, we're just not used to it. The whole group is the same. So we'll get there. But at least he's been able to stay in that group with the same kids that he's been training with for a long time. Bestie's not in these today because he's in rehearsals, so he's taking a little break from Sundays. Exciting times. And interestingly, there's two spaces, one for the younger ones, one for the older ones, essentially. And I walk in between to do the photography, and there's an urban farm in the middle. So my new besties are goats, because most of the urban farm is kind of tucked away from the path, and you'd have to go in on purpose. But the goats are right next to the pavement. So now I say hi to the goats. On my way. I have taken a picture of my goat friend, and I think that will be one of the small stories that goes in for January, February. I think I met my goat friend in February, so it'll be, did I? I can't remember. I'll have to look at the dates. Aren't we glad that our photo library can tell us when we took a picture? I would be so lost without that. I depend on it a lot. All right. Okay, we have a funny Star Wars title. Why not? Journaling space here, that's there. We need way more around these edges because it's boring at the moment. Let's make it less boring. Corey says she foresees some goat hip hop in the future. Do you remember years ago Jilly Bean did a like teenage boy collection, and it had pennants with different little expressions like awesome and MVP, and one of them said goat, and it was the first time I had ever seen the abbreviation GOAT for greatest of all time. I had never seen that shortened to just GOAT. I know it's become far more widely spread language now. Probably significantly in part to Simone Biles having a goat pendant around her neck. But anyway, at the time when Jilly Bean brought out this paper, which was years and years and years ago, I had never seen that phrase. And I remember pulling that paper out for a live and going, okay, this is really cute, but what's with the goats? I don't understand. And most of us did not understand. And then a few people said no, it stands for greatest of all time. And it was like a collective from the rest of us, because we'd never seen it. We'd heard that phrase, but we'd never seen it shortened to just GOAT. And so I feel like maybe if I still have that paper, I'll have to look and see if I still have that paper. But if so, I might need to put that with the picture of the goat. Because, yes. Anna says, where can we sign up for having you do a Halloween and Christmas collection this year? Just wondering. I have no idea. if there was Halloween, it probably would already need to have been done with the major manufacturer, or it would need to be done in the next 6 weeks. Christmas would be due by Easter. So yeah, I don't have commissions for either of those at the moment. Right, moving on. Let's make it less boring. Okay, so actually that could go on top, but I'm going to put it underneath. So I have this hot pink that appears here and here. We're going to bring it up here. Come on, there. Then that means I want to stay with that same style of flower. So I've got that one. That one. Oh, that one's huge. Okay, the rest are the other style, and then the hearts. So let's work with these. Here. Okay. Good luck, Georgia. See you later. So we're going to tuck this one into this corner, which I realize covers up quite a bit of the flower, but that's okay. I want to bring this motif in more, so let's cut out some more letters. Not letters, numbers. So I don't need them in the same order because I'm using individual blocks. So I can do, this has 5, 6, 7, 8, it's just not all in one line. So we can get one set from this that I had already cut out. Okay, and then put the black arrow paper in here, and let's have a little edge on that. Gina says, can I sign up for the Scrap and Learn retreat? Yes. And Scrap and Learn, so Scrap and Learn is an online event that I'm teaching at. And it has 2 different ways that you can sign up. So if you would like to sign up with the kit, that is one option, and you can do that and you'll get all of the supplies. But you can also sign up without the kit, so you're just getting the instruction stuff, you're getting the lessons, and use your own stash, and that's a different price that does not include the supplies. Yeah. Now there are a few different teachers and we all are using different things. I am using Reasons to Smile. But also, you know that I totally believe in following the instructions, but using stuff you've already got. So if you want to sign up for just the instruction option and use different paper collections, you're not going to offend me. I'm totally going to love it. I will, however, my kit has just arrived, so I can show you my portion of the kit. So from this, you get my live layout workshop, and then also a pre-recorded smaller project. Not mini books. I don't teach mini books other than Christmas journal is the closest I get to mini books. I'm not a mini book person. I like layouts. Okay, so I need to be very careful not to mix this with anything on my desk. But this is what you're getting. And you're getting other stuff from the other teachers. This is just for my class, okay? So you get radiate positivity, snap away, bloom wild, learn always, sprinkle kindness, stay close, trail about, thrive now, read more. Oh, come on. Stay sparkly, feel good, tell tales, bake love, shine bright, reach tall, keep laughing, win today, rest often, spring forward, and sweeten life in the 12 by 12 papers. Yeah, so you're getting a nice big stack of paper. Plus both sets of stickers, the phrase stickers and the blue Fitzgeralds. 6 by 12 sticker set. The ephemera in both kinds, yeah? So, do they have different names? I'm guessing this one's called like journaling ephemera, and this is called motifs. You get both of those packs plus the enamel dots to match. Okay, so you can go with supplies, without supplies. I think if you're overseas, then you go without supplies and you get your own stuff. But if you want to follow mine along and use all old stash, I'm totally with that. You're totally good. Yeah. And I won't be teaching you anything that you can't do with old paper. I would love for you to use what you already bought. It's all good by me. Okay? So Corey asked a very good question that points out how silly I am. Do I have is there a special link for me to get a commission? I think there is, and I haven't put it anywhere yet. So I'll put that out later today. But also, if you've already signed up or you're wanting to sign up right this second, don't worry. The commission is not going to make or break me. So yeah. But I'll put it up later today. I'll go find where it is. So right now you could go, if you want to read more details, find the prices of everything. If you go onto my Instagram, the top row of posts has the information about that. The very last thing I've posted on my feed has like a thing that has my face on the first one. Sorry. And then you can click through. If you swipe through the different pieces of the carousel, it takes you through what's included in the different options. And that's how you can find all the details for signing up. Does that help? But I'll put a link on Insta and Facebook and wherever else later today. I just have to go find what that link is. But I think you're right. I think there is one. Okay. So we've got a 5, 6, 7, 8 here. We've got a 5, 6, 7, 8 here. Now see, normally I would say go on the diagonal, but I brought that across there. So I almost want to bring it straight down here. I think that's where I want to go. Right. I do, obviously want 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 counts of 8, please. So I just need to cut it out and then figure out where's the best place for it to go. I might move that one to that side. That would make everything easy. I know exactly where the third one goes if I move that. So maybe I move that. Sophia says we have to dredge our collective memories and see if any collection anywhere has goat stickers or ephemera. We've had pineapples, flamingos, tigers. There's got to be goats somewhere. Somebody missed a trick during the Olympics of not having goat motifs. It definitely always feels topical during international sporting events. Yeah, you're right. I need to add that into the description box where I say all the links are. I've left that one out. Okay, so I'll get that edited in today. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so I could go over here if I move that over, but what if I don't move that over? And I go here so that I'm just bringing this column down. I mean, it fits nicely there. I can bring the black back in. Look at me Amy-proofing this edge. Time is it? Okay, good. Photos are 3x4. Yep. Photos are 3x4 inches, approximately. Yeah. Printed two to a 4x6. So you just have a little white border. So the black is behind the white there. Let's put that in the same place here. Oh, that spot is not good. Hold on. Now, this one has flowers with it. This one does not. I had other flowers though, so I could bring the flower in. Aw, thanks, Pam. Pam, it says to click the like button if you like it. I always appreciate it. Okay, but we need to come over to where the 5 is going to start. There. Okay. Oh, Belinda is off to teach Romeo and Juliet. Have a wonderful lesson indeed, and catch you in Tomorrowland. Suki says, I always wondered why the countdown for dance starts with 5, 6, 7, 8, because most choreography is taught in sets of 8 beats instead of 4. So, oh, did you realize you were going to get a music theory discussion to this question? So most standard pop beat and most standard Western music that we listen to is most commonly written in 4/4, meaning there are 4 beats to the measure in the sheet music, and the crotchet or the quarter note gets 1 beat. So that's standard teaching of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, with 4 being the upbeat, because that's when the conductor does the downbeat is the 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's how you read a conductor's baton, because when they go down, you know you're starting the beat or starting the measure, and when you go up, it's the end of that bar. So that's called upbeat. This is called the downbeat. So 1 is always a downbeat. Now there are exceptions. Waltzes are written in 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yes. But the problem is with choreography that if you were to count over and over again to 4, it's just too few numbers to create the whole phrase. Okay, so musicians tend to benefit from having the shorter number of beats in the bar because they might have a gazillion notes packed into that bar. But dancers will need the choreography in a longer phrase. Otherwise, you would stop and start, like you'd have to start again in the middle of a move. So that's why they count to 8, even though the music is written in 4. Where it gets really confusing is if music is written in something other than 4 or 3, we have problems. Because a lot of choreographers will be so used to counting it in 5, 6, 7, 8. And choreographers don't necessarily see sheet music. That's quite rare. So, for example, in Starlight Express, there is a song that's written in 7. AC/DC is written in 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I am curious. I had to ask WB, did they teach the choreography still with 8? But he knows it's in 7, so I have a feeling that they taught it in 7. But there we go. So it's just a matter of being able to give a longer phrase in choreography so that you're not chopping down the moves to such small pieces that you can actually go through 2 bars of phrase. And musically that makes a lot of sense because we do tend to take, like if you were singing the line, it's very rare that you sing a whole phrase in 1 bar. It would be multiple bars of music. That might not be the answer that you wanted. That might have been too nerdy. But if you wanted that answer, there you go. Let me know if you need more music theory next week. Let me use what I studied at university. I woke up at 8 a.m. Well, I woke up before 8 a.m. I woke up at 7:50 to go to that 8 a.m. class every day for 3 whole years. Why is music theory at 8 a.m.? Please sing an augmented 4th. I don't want to. Yeah. It's 8 a.m. I don't want to sing intervals. There we go. All right. We got some more tuckies and we got some dots. Where's, and the sticker sheet for this one. All right. I'm happy with that motif going on there. I think we do bring the other cassette across, unless there's a die cut one in here. I think this is mostly words, so there won't be. Yeah, okay. So let's have the cassette, even though it's orange. And how can we... Oh. I want to work it in, but I might not be able to. It's just the wrong scale. Okay, we'll look at other things. Mostly too big. I'm looking for the smaller pieces. You could go with, if you're using this same sort of design, if you've used the starting point and you're building out from here, but this is not the right kind of title for you, you've also got this kind of lettering in the die cut pack, it's the right size to create a title there if any of the words are helpful to you. Okay. Right. That. I think I need to plan ahead and go through this and figure out what titles could do what stories. Because I'm doing things like, so some of these are obviously like you're meant to put them with other words, right? You have my is the best. And I just looked at the next large word that was there. Like, surely no. So I need to plan. Otherwise it's going to hurt my head that I'm going to end up with words that don't go together. All right. I know what I can use this with if I take a photo. Things that my child says that are hilarious. I'm still doing the write down funny things your kid says in small stories in my album. So there's different birds that hang out near the theater than near our house. I mean, we're just one side of London to the other, but whatever. There's these really almost tame black and white birds that are not pigeons. And a friend of mine who has recently gone a bit nerdy with birds was quite happy to tell me that it was a wagtail. And so then I got to act all cool. The next time we saw one, I was like, hey, WB, I know what kind of bird that is now. That's a wagtail. And he looked at me and he looked at the bird and he looked back at me and he said, no, it's not. And I said, no, my friend says. And he says, that's not a wagtail. That's a cutie pie. So if I can get a picture of him with the wagtail, I shall use that die cut because he just cracked me up. That is not a wagtail. That is a cutie pie. I see. I was unaware. Send him my love, Corey. See you later. All right. I want something here and I want something here and then dots and done. Dots and done. Why is that not like a catchphrase? Dots and done. Okay. What are we going to put there? I have a blue flower in the same style. That doesn't bring the other colors over here. Does not help. Okay. This, however, let's put it underneath the flower, brings that color over to the side. Sam says, are you going to Austinland? This is with Lucy Jones, yeah? If we're able to. I need to look at the dates and see what's going to happen because, I mean, WB would always say yes to a Lucy show. Bless him. So we will see. But I need to check the dates. I just saw it go across this morning. Sophia's smallest was 3 when I called him Sweetie Pie, and he exploded in rage that he is not a pie. Oh, now see, that takes on a whole new meaning when your child loves Sweeney Todd. So, we're good. Right. Can I use this one because I did this before. I'm going to use the happy together sentiments for non-romantic things. So I'm just happy to be training with the friends again. So that works for me. That there, we need to bring the floral over here. That giant one, I think, is going to be what works. But we're going to need to put it on an angle. But then it brings the red over. Yes, like Sheldon's lovey-dovey on Big Bang. Yep, yep. Can I just angle it that way? Okay. That's fine. You got any other phrases that work here? There is a cutie pie. Can use this light blue one, but it is the same sentiment. Okay, I'm gonna skip it for now. All right, dots and done. I mean, dots and gold and done. Now, where are we going with this? Blue. Go to the opposite side and do blue here as well. That's all the blue done. Then we take the red in these 3 spots. Yeah. Put it on the 8 side here and the 5 side on the other 2, I think is the answer. Go down. Okay, gold. That's how much I have left there. That's why I have 2 packs. Now, shall we use it like it's meant to be used? It's a bit scarier. But, you know, I'm brave. It's just paper. But you might shout at your screen a little bit. I don't know. So, I haven't done this on a layout, so we're gonna just see how it feels when it's all dry. Okay. Now, on Friday, you might find that I add something else in here, but I think for now, I'm going to leave it. Not add anything else there. Hold on, I'm going to close up this. I'm going to close up this. Psh, language. Words. Okay, I'm going to bring it up close so that you can see the shimmer. Can we see the shimmer? You sort of can. Yeah. So see what we think of that when it's dry, as opposed to my giant droplets. I might put giant droplets as well. Because I can. Right. So there we go. I do think the outside edge of this needs black ink. So let's do that. If you enjoyed it and you want to add a thumbs up, I'm trying to figure out where to hold the page. that would be great. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully it helps you with your algorithm. I've heard mixed responses. Some people go, yep, I get lots of scrapbooking now. And some people are like, nope, it has made no change. Okay, sorry. But it does help me with things behind the scenes because YouTube offers you different training and development stuff. And I don't know why they don't take all their training and just make it visible to everybody who wants to have a channel, but they don't. And I suppose they have a whole concept of like, you can kind of stair step and you're learning, and it makes a little bit of a curriculum. But, you know, every day is a learning day. I like when it comes up and says, we've noticed that people are engaging with your content, so we've unlocked this training. I get all nerdy and spend the next couple evenings watching it all to try to make better quality stuff. Sometimes it's all techno stuff that I'm like, oh, so what you're telling me today is that if I invest double the amount of money in my gear, I could have a fancier channel. But you know what? Nope, that's not where I'm going. But other times the training is really useful. And a lot of times they tell us what we could do to increase our advertising revenue. And step one would be turn on adverts. But with current videos, I don't have the adverts on. So I don't always do as I'm told. I try to balance it and realize that sometimes your teacher is biased and YouTube might tell you ways to make money because they get a cut. So I try to keep us all in a good place. But I do really super duper appreciate it when you click the like button. It does help things out. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful week. If you're in this year's story, I will be doing December on Thursday. And then otherwise, I will be live here again on Friday morning at 10 a.m. And I will see you soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.